is the story of Peter Rabbit.
"My dears," said Mrs. Rabbit one morning, "you may go into the field or down the lane, but don't go into Mr. McGregor's garden. Your father had an accident there. Mr. and Mrs. McGregor made him into rabbit stew. I'm going shopping now, so run along and don't get into any mischief." Then Mrs. Rabbit took a basket and her umbrella and went through the wood to the baker's to buy a loaf of bread and 5 currant buns. Flopsy, Mopsy, and Cottontail, who were good little rabbits, decided to go hopping down the lane to look for blackberries. Peter, who was naughty, disobeyed his mother. He ran away straight to Mr. McGregor's garden and squeezed under the gate. Peter had never seen so many nice vegetables. When Peter began to feel sick, he went to look for some parsley, because he had heard that parsley was good for rabbit medicine. He came around a cucumber vine, and whom did he meet? but Mr. McGregor himself. Mr. McGregor was down on his hands and knees planting cabbages. When he saw Peter, he jumped up and picked up his rake. Then he ran after Peter, shouting angrily, "Stop, thief!"
Stop, thief! Stop, thief! What will I do to you? If ever I can catch you, I'll have a rabbit stew. Stop, thief! Stop, thief! What will I do to you? If ever I can catch you, I'll have a rabbit stew.
Peter was dreadfully frightened. He rushed here and there all around the garden, for he had forgotten the way back to the gate. He lost one shoe in the cabbages and the other shoe in the beans. He kept on running faster and faster, and just then he got caught in a gooseberry bush. He was wearing his new blue jacket with the large brass buttons. The buttons got caught in the bushes and held him tight. Peter gave himself up for lost, and he started to cry. But the sparrows, who had been watching, flew down and said, "You must try hard to get away. You must get free. Run, Peter, run."
Run, Peter, run! Run, Peter, run! Stop your crying, keep on trying. Run, Peter, run! Run, Peter, run! Run, Peter, run! Run, Peter, run! Stop your crying, keep on trying. Run, Peter, run! Run, Peter, run!
So Peter tried hard, and he got free. But he slipped out of his nice new jacket, which was still caught on the gooseberry bush.
Peter was so frightened he forgot which way to go. Peter lost his jacket and he lost his shoes, you know. Running helter skelter, for he had no time to waste. He was so excited and he could not find the gate.
He ran into the tool shed and jumped into a sprinkling can. It would have been a fine place to hide if it had not had so much water in it. Mr. McGregor came looking for him in the shed. Just then, Peter sneezed. He heard Mr. McGregor coming, so he jumped out of the window, upsetting 3 flower pots. He ran as fast as he could, but he still could not find the gate. An old mouse came running by, carrying peas and beans home to her family in the wood. Peter asked her the way to the gate, but she could not talk with such a big bean in her mouth. Or maybe she was too polite to talk with her mouth full. She just nodded her head. Peter began to cry. Just then he saw a big old white cat. She was swishing her tail. Peter had heard about cats, so he did not dare to stop to talk to her and ask her which way to go. He went the other way. Suddenly, he heard the noise of a hoe. Scritch, scratch, scratch, scritch. When Peter looked up, he saw Mr. McGregor hoeing his onions. His back was turned toward Peter, and beyond him was the gate. Peter made up his mind to run as fast as he could. He squeezed under the gate and never stopped running until he got home, under the root of the big fir tree. He was so tired he lay down and closed his eyes. Then he remembered how sick he was. Miss Mother Rabbit was cooking dinner, but she wondered where Peter had lost his shoes and his nice blue jacket. That was the second jacket and the second pair of shoes he had lost in a week. What a naughty boy.
Peter
too many green vegetables, and he felt terrible. He was so sick that his mother made some chamomile tea, gave him a big dose, and put him to bed. Bad little Peter Rabbit. But Flopsy, Mopsy, and Cottontail, who were good little rabbits, had blackberries, sugar, and cream.